guys are nothing compared to what they can do to us now. It's our Second Amendment right, our First Amendment right, our Fourth Amendment right. It's all like on them. Nobody's operating.
Oh, better believe it.
The Second Amendment. You just said the Second Amendment.
Just not legally.
144. The California state law 144. Have you heard of that one?
Those guns that shoot out mercury. I know where to get them.
But let's go back to the one that Obama signed that they can just
We don't support Obama.
So the military can come just snatch someone up indefinitely.
Terrorists like they do in other countries.
They just signed it.
Like I have dreams of you guys protecting us from that happening.
Here now too.
That's what I look at.
Law and order.
That Law and Order when they did that, they were the only one that covered it.
You got it. I'll be around.
You guys should watch Law and Order. You can learn stuff.
I didn't beat you up.
Why is my spine broke right now?
Like seriously, guys, like we look to you to protect our communities and our families and our homes. And like we're coming out here to protect ourselves by speaking our voices. They're never getting heard. Like that's what, and then we, messages are probably getting across really badly. But at the same time, we're all trying to be peaceful people, changing changing it back to what our fathers had.
I don't trust
Our laws are different.
The founding fathers, like, they have to work at the start.
They come and jump on us. Look, he's got the plastic handcuffs out.
Farmer eat or don't eat at all.
But the thing is, everybody perspective I've noticed that you guys have a lot of is the same as a lot of the community. You guys have more in depth because you deal with us, but you're dealing with the negative aspect of us because you're police officers.
We're dealing with people that light fires, break windows, throw rocks.
That's not everyone.
I know that. But I said those are the ones that we deal with a lot, right?
Right, but does that constitute?
We're on a riot cop. We got clubs coming.
Like you guys,
bunch of riot police.
Yeah, are you guys making orders for us to do anything? Are you asking us to disperse? Because if you are, give us a chance before we start macing.
How many people?
Last time you just tear gas. No, but here come your friends.
Oh no, I know.
No, seriously,
okay. Oh, they're probably right here because someone was throwing bombs.
Actually, people. There's actually still people being. I'm sorry, I lost my.
People being detained without.
There's people being detained from. From all these. I'm sorry, I get so upset about it. There's people. People are going to be able to be detained from the. Just the Constitution, or the Constitute of, not Constitution, but the Constitute of calling someone a terrorist because of their affiliation with someone or because of their political interest.
So you're in fear that if whoever's in power at the time, whether it be the Republicans or Democrats, whatever group tries to throw them out, they can go back and grab them and say, "Hey, you're against me." So now we have an apolitical state. Basically, what kind of like what England did to Ireland when they started snatching up all the suspected IRA terrorists and taking them out of the country for up to 90 days.
Yeah,
exactly. It is sort of authoritarian.
Now, I didn't know that was signed into the law, so that's something I'd have to actually research. So not that I don't take your word for it, but
sure, you should research it.
Yeah.
It actually has to attack on our rights.
Yeah. Don't get hit.
Because it doesn't matter, like over the last 20 some years, who's been in office, whether it's been a Democrat or Republican, it's the same corporate forces that are sitting in lobbying the government to put things like the NDAA or whatever into law, like anything they can use to keep people under the control of the corporations where they're buying their goods and buying their gasoline and going on feeding into a system that can't sustain itself anymore. We can't sustain ourselves. We're not going to have oil at some point, and we don't have the infrastructure right now to deal with that when that day comes.
Oil is definitely a fossil fuel, and it's going to end.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, and
Similar but different.
Right. Other countries, so we could have like a last.
Oh, that's an ongoing topic we could discuss for days and days and days. I mean, that's...
Well, that's why we're protesting, because we don't want war anymore, and the government won't listen to us. We marched in San Francisco.
In a perfect world, I mean, no one wants war. But unfortunately,
But
there's
there's-
always
No,
gonna be
there's people
someone.
that do want
Well,
war because
Halliburton-
war.
They make money off the wars, man. That's why we're at war.
When I say nobody, I said the majority of the
99%.
don't want.
Yeah,
You're always going to have
99.99999.
somebody in any country that's going to want to take someone else's stuff.
But saying, excusing things for utopian ideas is just giving power to not taking action.
Well, yeah, but utopian ideas, and also as far as like communism, you know, communism doesn't work because why? What happened with communism? You think everything is going to be distributed equally, and it never is.
That's the thing, though. It's not about communism. It's not about.
No, I'm just talking. We're
socialism.
we're
It's not
pulling
about-
different political
I know,
ideas. So
it's not.
someone's going to always one up someone else.
It's about just being organic in the sense that you're a human and you disagree with some structure that's been put in your way and in the way of your neighbors.
Taco truck.
I think Oakland's kind of actually
What's the taco
accommodated
truck?
a lot of the protests as well as a lot of this free speech. In fact, they've even shut down streets without permits for you guys to march, right?
What about Scott Olson and my friends that were right there when he got hit in the head with a tear gas canister?
Well, I can't comment on that because that's under investigation, and they haven't proven that either
So
which way
the
yet.
tear gas is
You know,
accommodated.
it's also under suspicion that he may have been hit from behind in the back of the head. So I can't comment on it until they actually review all the video footage. But I don't.
It
condone
kind of
anybody-
did. It kind of did hit him in the back of that. He was running from the cop. We were running, and he just got bam.
I don't condone anyone getting hurt.
We were right there. We saw it. We looked
right
back.
there.
It was like bam.
Trying to cover
And there was like
ourselves,
sparks and
people
shit.
were
It was
trying to help
crazy.
them. And then when people ran to help Scott Olson,
They
like
threw a
got-
flash grenade,
they threw a
man.
flash grenade and rubber bullets at
Yeah.
him.
It's all on tape. You
I don't- well,
could YouTube that. You should
yeah.
YouTube it. Just YouTube Scott Olson.
I don't know if anyone ever. Well, I don't know. Well,
You can see it.
I can comment on the Oakland Police Department. We don't use rubber bullets. So
What?
we
Or
don't use
bean
rubber
bags?
bullets. Bean bags, we do, but I don't know if that bean
What was that
bag.
machine gun looking thing over
Yeah,
there on
what
9th
what was
Street?
that?
What was that?
Machine gun.
There was like
Looks
a
like
machine gun looking
like
thing.
Looks like
somebody
a
had it
That's
over
a
the
tear gas
shoulder.
canister thing. That's a tear,
Okay,
the
all
fucking.
right, I
Is
wasn't
it the
there.
tear gas?
Yeah, but they were shooting something. It was like pow, pow.
Was that an
Yeah.
air gun or something? Or
No, I'm not sure. I'd have to see.
I think it was-
Said
must
there
have been
was, like,
beanbags.
They said there was
There was something getting fired into the air, and then some displays of large
There's like
weaponry.
a lot of
some
video
degree.
footage of it. If you guys were there, did anyone get your names as witnesses? You said you saw it all, right? Did I get your name, contact information?
thumbs
No?
up of us.
All right.
I don't know who's the like.
Well, it's an ongoing investigation. So
If
if you
someone asks
witnessed
me,
it,
I'll give them my witness.
I just asked you.
Yeah.
Okay. Give it a
It's
second.
all
I guess
really
it's
crazy,
a
you know?
question. The question can have a yes or no answer.
You don't have to. I'm just going to forward it to the investigators.
It sounded sneaky. It's all like.
I don't know. Everything
Like
was
Mr.
kind of
Nice
blurry,
Guy.
you know? Like, it was pretty fucking crazy. I mean,
All right, you know what? Let's do it this way then. Since you can go to internal affairs if you want. It is an ongoing investigation. At any time that's best for you. The internal affairs is over there, just regular working hours, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So that way you're not giving it to a
That's good
police
to know.
officer. I mean, I'm not trying to ask you for information to do anything. So, but I just so you know. I mean,
You know,
that's-
as a police officer, I would like to tell you, not me, I'm not a police officer.
I understand what you're saying.
As a police officer that I'm talking to, I really want to talk. I guess that's just phrasing it horrible. As a person, I want to phrase it to a police officer that I think that the community and police really need to start working together.
Oh, I totally agree.
I mean, and I'm talking about not like even out of command structure. I mean, I'm completely serious about that. Out of the command structure, is obviously the route that needs to be taken because the community and the police department obviously have not a line of intolerance but a border, and it's met with force and brutality and hate and anger and there. I mean, like it's you know, like you guys have a reliance on communication as well as everybody else. we are not speaking to each other anymore. The community and officers are not speaking to each other on a personable level anymore. And like when that
we have though, right?
We have, but on the same at the same time, like.
Oh, you mean like the command, the like chief?
No, I'm talking about like I want
in the
like
streets, just like
in the streets, yeah.
Like back was in the old days where the cops would walk and like, hey, how you
The
doing?
beat,
Hey, what's
the
you know,
beat.
yeah.
Like when the police knew their people, they were like, hey, you know,
Hey, yo, mama,
Joe, I'm
hey,
not
yo,
taking you to
hey,
jail
nah, I ain't
tonight
gonna say
because
no
you know
more.
I just know that your wife just cheated on you with Gary across the street.
Well, that's
like,
a whole lot of in-depth
like,
information.
See, but that's the thing. The police used to, they were protectors of their flock, and now it seems like it's just a bunch of wolves surrounding a bunch of sheep that are trying to self-govern themselves because that's what they believe in.
I wish I could sit down and have a beer with you and discuss this whole thing.
I really
Wouldn't
wish
that
I
be
could
awesome?
do
That would be awesome, but I can't. But I understand what you're saying, and I hope that's not everyone's perception of the police.
That is that's the best way I could put it. Like people, like the worst is F the police.
Well, I'll tell you this:
And that's
I live
a
here.
sheeple
I
way
live
of
here in
saying
this.
it.
I live here in the city of Oakland, and all my neighbors know I'm a police officer, and I don't seem to have a problem with any of my neighbors, and they don't seem to have a problem with me. And I think the only time my neighbors or anyone that lives in my neighborhood has a problem is when people break the law and try to take our stuff or try to vandalize our homes or our cars or try to mess with our children. And then we want the police to show up. So my biggest thing is like
peacefully protesting. We don't.
no, but no one's bothering you tonight, right?
We just got stormed.
Dude, I got
Yeah,
hit three
yeah, he
times
got
by
hit.
an aggro cop that.
They like hit a
358
girl and like threw a bike at you. Well, you saw the whole thing that happened.
Tonight?
Yeah.
Where?
On 9th and
Washington?
Was that the
I don't
street
know.
that's parallel to the street? Yeah, 9th and Washington.
Yeah, he.
The little
like,
clubby.
I was
area.
on the sidewalk, and the girl was on the sidewalk, and she was facing me.
Did they
like,
take her to jail?
No. Okay, but like check this out. Like she was facing this way, and recording this way, with her camera.
Did
I was facing
Did
this
they have
way.
these things on?
I don't know.
These are what these are. These are little cameras. Every time the police come in contact with people, they turn them on. Not every time. There's certain
Well,
times.
his
that happen.
like he got restrained by 3 officers. Like they pulled him back because he swung on her, hit her, and she wasn't even looking at him.
Decked, like where did
And,
he hit her? Like he just went at her, decked her?
Now, I know you guys are totally against asking information, but by policy, I have to ask you. Since you guys witnessed the use of force on 9th and Washington, can I get your information?
I didn't witness it. Ricky.
I would ask you to repeat that for me again.
By policy, since you're stating you observed
the internal affairs number, please.
Oh, okay. Well, you'd rather give it to Internal Affairs?
Yes, please.
Okay. The Internal Affairs is actually directly across over here in Frank Ogawa Plaza on the left-hand side.
Okay.
And if you want to call them, their number is 238-3161.
238.
Do you want me to write it down for you?
Yes, please.
And then that's probably, and the only reason I'm giving you this is because you said you don't want to give me your information. So.
Well, it's a weird world right now, sir.
I know, you just don't trust me, which is fine. Which is fine. But I just have to ask because some of the stuff you're disclosing per policy, I have to try at least to attempt to get your information. Can I get a SIM card?
Here, it's on the way.
Romeo, where are you?
Okay. No, right now? You want to walk with us?
We're gonna go to her car.
I would love to. 'Cause
You guys want me to write my name down too? I'll do it anyways.
Beere.
Just like drinking beer, it's a pretty easy name to remember, right?
John.
I like to think it's.
John.
I like to think it's my
John.
personality. Why everyone remembers me?
John.
No, keep going. You're
Jim.
close.
Jim.
There you go.
Jim.
I
Jim,
knew
Jimmy.
it was Jim.
I'm also known as Jimmy.
I knew.
You
I have
did?
Pisces
Really?
intuition.
Hey, girl, you got it.
I'm trying to think. Her number isn't on
I was
here.
like, he's a John. Just
John
like
Smith?
that. John Beere. Just I saw it, but no.
But so, Mr. Alex is gonna.
It was in response, yeah. It was in response to her friend who got pushed down too. Right? He was really hurt.
Oh, the guy with the tattoo of the kiss mark on his neck?
No,
I don't know.
Gentlemen, I was involved with trying to like help up from getting hit from the excessive force. He's elderly gentleman.
what's going on?
He's
gotta go. Yeah, man, we gotta
Let me give you this real quick.
I just need that number real quick, sorry.
That's right. I think that's the number off the top of my head. But if not, you can call the non-emergency number. They'll give it to you. Okay?
Thank you.
You guys have a safe night. Nice talking to you. And that, hey, I learned something. What is it called? The NDAA?
NDAA, Google it.
And SOPA. Which SOPA's silly because they already have the rights of shutting down people that are kind of propagating.
Where you go?